All right, peace and grand risings, man, to all that's tapped in, everybody that's going to tap in, and everybody that's going to catch up on the replay gang, man. I got one more joint I'm going to play that'll conclude the intro for today's live stream, and then we'll tap right in, man. Share the live stream out, hit the like button for your boy. We're going to get this thing cranking. You know what I'm talking about? Salute. All right, yeah, man. Peace and grand one, man, to everybody that's gonna be tapped in, man. Can't say it as much as I do. Much about it, man. Hope everyone's been taking care of themselves, man, the best way that they know how to. Hope everyone's been, thinking of constant ways of removing themselves from the systematical way of living. You know what I'm saying? That's been the goal. That's always been, like the major bottom line or the theme of it all. You see what I'm saying? That's the moral of the story and shit, man. Free yourselves from the systematical way of life. You see what I'm saying? Especially from this systemic racism and, you know, all of this, the shenanigans that we deal with on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Living in this country and shit, man. Let me get it. Oh shit, we got Cosmo Kid in the house. What's happening with your Professor X? What's up with his sis? Cosmo Kid is in the building. Early. That's what's happening. She got the notification early. I know they be shadow banning the channel. Don't be wanting your favorite cousins, you know what I'm saying, message to get out there and shit, man. But you know, it's only one real truth, and that's what we're experiencing in our now, and that's what I've been on and shit, man. You know, free your mind, you know, make it your self-choice. All that shit, stop letting it distract you, stop letting it get you off your pivot, stop letting it, you know what I'm saying, move you and get you in different mood settings, you know what I'm saying, different mood swings, different energies, changes and shit like that. You know, it's, you know, what you consuming is not just what you eat. You see what I'm saying? It's also what you're watching every day, what you're listening to, you know, what you're feeding your mind, what you're downloading onto that noggin of yours. You see what I'm saying? So all of this is important, and you must never not forget that. You see what I'm saying? That's the what the propaganda machines and all that shit doing shit, you know, give you what to think, you know what I'm saying? Give you, it kind of like paints a perception of life for you. You know what I'm saying? Mold you to see life and, you know, look at life a certain way and shit, and, you know, which ultimately forces you to live your life a certain way. You see what I'm saying? So you got to remove yourself from all that shit. You got to realize where the deception starts. You got to attack it from its inception. You see what I'm saying? To the good cousin P. Moses, APTV 13 Keys. Salute, cuz. I've been seeing you checking in, tapping in with your cuz and shit, man, lately, man. You haven't been going unnoticed. I definitely have been seeing you tap in, supporting the channel, supporting the content, commenting and leaving likes and shares and stuff like that. I definitely been noticing that, cuz. I definitely do appreciate it, and you definitely are not going unnoticed. Real talk. In the groove. What's happening with you in the groove? You do what? Huh? But yeah, I titled this one here, the you know, the spirit, you know, spiritual or traditional. You know what I'm saying? Is just want to touch on a few things I've been tapping in lately, going back down them rabbit holes, be trying to stay away from them, but you know, like I say, that's my form of distractions, you know what I'm saying? Getting caught up in the midst of the perceptions of man. You see what I'm saying? The perceptions of man and shit, you know, the impact of the thoughts of man. You see what I'm saying? In its entirety, you know, like wherever man or, you know, man or woman, you know what I'm saying? Wherever the mind is, that's where they live. You see what I'm saying? That's where they at with. You know what I'm saying? Wherever the mind is, you know, the actions will follow. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to touch bases on this traditional or spiritual thing when it comes to like Christianity, the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Which is, I know that a lot of our people is, and not just our people, you know, there's people in the world in general, you know what I'm saying? They just really like wrapped up in it. You know what I'm saying? It's they caught up in it somehow, some way to where, you know, where I've been explaining this for a while. I've been trying to get people to see this, that your mind can be your own or its own projector for you individually. You see what I'm saying? So once an initial your mind can start projecting it, you know what I'm saying, to where it can become a real thing to someone, you know what I'm saying? You know, that is the power of the mind, you know, as the elders used to say, uh you know, you can do anything that you put your mind to, you know what I'm saying? As long as you got a mind, you know what I'm saying, you basically can be unstoppable. You feel me? So this is how powerful the mind is, you know what I'm saying? And we're living in an era now to where, people's beliefs or traditional things or the things that people are taught or have been latching themselves onto that they consider to be spiritual can all be a part of the illusion as well. You see what I'm saying? These can all be different phases that one can go in and out of throughout one's life, throughout one's journey of one's lifespan, due to the simple fact that the initial download that one has learned or has been instilled in one's mind from the childhood, from the upbringing, from whether it's inside the home, what the parents is teaching the child, or what the grandparents is teaching the child, what society or the culture of the environment where the child is born at, where the child is raised at. All of these play a role into the perception of one's. You see what I'm saying? It plays a role into where somebody can pick up something traditional, and it can be, they can grow up with it since the youth, and being it, it is all that they've known, or it is considered to be the truth to them, or it was the cultural understanding of what life is and stuff like that. Then you see what I'm saying? If that was wrong from the get-go, then what someone is holding on to is a traditional thing. You see what I'm saying? Like this is nothing that is authentic. This is nothing that is original. This is nothing that is, that is spiritual. This is nothing that is, you see what I'm saying? Extraordinary. This ain't something that unique. You see what I'm saying? This is a traditional thing that one latches themselves onto, and it becomes a reality to them. You know what I'm saying? Over time, it becomes a reality, and it's because the mind, through the belief in it or the original teaching of it on how it's applied, the mind starts to project it that way. You see what I'm saying? The mind starts to project it that way, and that goes with all religious teachings and shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of this shit, I don't want to say it like that, but a lot of this is traditional things that started within certain cultures that end up being spread. You know what I'm saying? It ended up being spreaded outwardly from the culture where it initially started, through migration, through what they call crusading or invasions, all types of shit throughout history. The kind of gives you the understanding of how these things can become, how it grows outside of the particular culture that it started. You see what I'm saying? And my thing today is just mainly like, I've been having a lot of discussions, with people in real time, people online on other platforms and stuff like that, just not specifically on YouTube, but mainly on real time, man, just out talking to the people out in the community, out in the world. And you have conversations with people, and what I'm noticing is it always, within mainly the people that I come across to, it's always their perspective on life when it comes to morality or what's right or wrong. You see what I'm saying? Or why do they feel certain things should be applied, shouldn't be. That can impact someone's life. It's rooted in you feel me, like whether it's the Bible, Someone to say, well, it says in the Bible this, or it says in the Quran this. You know what I'm saying? And, someone go back there, and that's just mainly what I encounter a lot. You know what I'm saying? I see it all the time. So, when it gets down to the conversation gets uh getting to the thick of it, I'm questioning the initial understanding of how someone even developed that perspective. You see what I'm saying? How did you even come up with, well, the reason that this is happening is because the Lord is doing it, or the reason that this is happening because of such and such. And so I'd be curious to know, how do one either come up or develop that type of mentality, that type of perspective on the world? You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'd be more curious into and shit. You know what I'm saying? I get into the nitty gritty of it, and when I'm starting to see for my own self through experiences, it's traditional. When I question a lot of people of, how did you come into the knowing or the belief that there is a God, or before we even talk about what the book's saying or what the writings is saying, let's start at, how did you even come to even determine that, how did you come to determination within yourself that the very God behind the writings, or the deity that's responsible for the writings, because the writings is accredited to the knowledge or the wisdom of the God, you see what I'm saying, or of the deity. So, so before we even start with what it says in this verse, and, what it was talking about in this book, in this chapter, let's talk about, how do you even come to the determination that the very God is real? It's authentic. You see what I'm saying? How did you even get to that? Let's start there. And I'm being all the way real with it. For the most part, it's a bunch of what they call personal testimony type stuff. You see what I'm saying? They do it, most do acknowledge, yeah, I was raised in the church, or, my mom's was a pastor, or, my pops was a pastor. You see what I'm saying? My house was Baptist. They acknowledge things like this. They acknowledge, yeah, I came up in a Muslim household. I came up under Islam. You see what I'm saying? They acknowledge stuff like this. But when it comes to them, to you questioning or trying to get a good understanding, with clarity, within reason and logic of, how do you determine or come to the proof, or what verified for you that the deity, or that the God itself is real? What really sealed the deal? And it's mainly, some type of personal testimony. You see what I'm saying? It's a personal testimony. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna say I find a problem with it, but I find a fault with that. You see what I'm saying? But the fault that I see in it is what I've been explaining these past 3 to 4 live streams. You see what I'm saying? That once you are taught something a certain way, or this is the teaching, or this is the doctrine, or this is the way of the world, you see what I'm saying? You're taught that everything is happening, or this is the reason behind everything. Then everything from that point that you experience in life, you're going to correlate it back to that. You see what I'm saying? You're going to dial back to the initial teaching of what this life is all about, of what was instilled or installed into your mind at 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 an early age. It's gonna you're gonna equate it, you're gonna go right back to that, and your mind is gonna start projecting. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna start working and doing what it do. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna start uh trying to make sense out of what you're experiencing. You see what I'm saying? You can only see it this way because this is the way of the world to you. This is your perception of the world. You see what I'm saying? And what I'm explaining to you is it's not unique to you. It's not a divine thing to one individually. It's a traditional teaching that is instilled or installed in the child at a young age, and it molds their perception. You see what I'm saying? So, when they say, like, and shout out to see the cousin Marco Powell, man, what's good with it, cousin? Hey, look, cuz I was thinking about you a few weeks back, and I said, man, you know what? I ain't seen Cuzzo online in a minute and shit. He done took a hiatus like me. I said, let me reach out to him and call him and shit. I said, damn, I had his number that was in my old phone. I ain't got your damn number no more and shit, cuz. But yeah, yeah, we got to link up and shit, man. You have to leave a email or something and shit, so man, we could link up and shit, man. You chop up with you, see what's going down with you and shit, cuz. Man, good seeing you and shit, real talk. But yeah, as I was saying, though, this is it's a traditional thing, and through the mind, this is how people tell you that. And, oh, I see the Rittis McCoy then tapped in, man. Shout out to the Rittis McCoy. We got the Cuzzos tapping in today, chat. Motherfucking Kendrick. The fam is in the building and shit, man. Peace and salute to the Rittis McCoy and Cuzzo Marco Power and shit. And once again, Cosmo Kid, man. Good to see you. That's Professor X in the building. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, as I was tapping into, though, like, the mind is what's making it real to the individual. You see what I'm saying? This is how one can tell you or openly confess to you that the Lord or God is answering their prayers. You see what I'm saying? Or prayer works and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Because one can project through their mind that it is something that is actually happening to them through the power of their mind. You see what I'm saying? And if it don't happen the way that they want it to, then there's what they call justifications for that as well too. That maybe it's on what they say, it either wasn't meant for you, or you see what I'm saying? It's always some type of justification, or it's individual mind power that's doing all the wonders. It's basically what I'm getting to and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, one can tell themselves or convince themselves that their prayer is being answered because their mind is telling them that and shit. It's not nothing unique or nothing divine. Shit, you see what I'm saying? Because you got people in other faiths, what they call, or other religions, other practices that's doing the same thing, or kind of, will basically say the same thing. We'll utter the same sentiments. You see what I'm saying? But give their but they'll tell you the same thing and shit. Oh yeah, my prayer's working and shit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, my God blessed me this way. You know what I'm saying? My God helped heal this person. You see what I'm saying? Or my God healed me through this. My God didn't, preserve me through this tragic time in my life, and stuff like that. So, it's all on the working of the mind. You see what I'm saying? You know, the mind can project imagery and everything. You see what I'm saying? Like it could put together, like, you know, you could read a story, you could read a book, and you could read a story, and if it's interesting enough, or if it's well detailed, you could put yourself in the author's shoes. You see what I'm saying? Like the main character of the story, you could put yourself in the book through the power of your own damn mind. You see what I'm saying? Like real talk. So don't, you know, that's how powerful the mind. And I think people really don't realize this. You know what I'm saying? This is how you have so many people out here, what they say, that's really living their lives and walking in faith, or walking, how they say, by faith and not by sight. They're walking by faith because they're using the power of their mind. Do you get what I'm saying to you? I hope you feel what I'm saying to y'all and shit, man. 'Cause every time I feel like I'm dropping this shit, man, I feel like people don't really feel what I'm saying, or I'm not really articulated right to get you to see what I'm saying. Playing tricks on you and shit, and it can be in a positive way because people can use these teachings to change their life. You see someone going to a church or going to a temple or going to a mosque, and within time, you know, transform into a new person. That doesn't prove, or actually, you see what I'm saying, substantiate that the deity or the God itself is a real thing. All that proves and substantiates is that one can do wonders when the mind is at work, when the mind is locked in. When you see what I'm saying? When you fully tapped in, when you locked in on some shit, you're gonna do this, and you know what I'm saying? You get the 3Ds going, and you see what I'm saying? The devotion, you well determined, and you damn sure dedicated. You gonna make some shit happen. You gonna make some shit happen. You see what I'm saying? Anything you practice, you're gonna get better at. So it's the same thing working on the mind. If you study using your mind to practice faith, or using your mind to, you know, to practice meditating on shit, you see what I'm saying? Then the mind is going to get accustomed to you see what I'm saying, to whatever you're using it to continue to practice at. So if you're using your mind to sit continuously, keep telling yourself and keep thinking on, you know, these images of this Messiah in your mind, or this God, this you see what I'm saying, this image, this figure, you see what I'm saying, this being that just exists somewhere, and you keep over and over again practicing that thought in your mind, then your mind is going to work on that. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing as you keep telling yourself you an ugly motherfucker and shit. Eventually, you're going to start believing your own goddamn words. You're going to start believing your own thoughts, because your mind is going to start working on it. You start convincing yourself that you're fully confident in yourself and you're a beautiful motherfucker. The same shit goes. It's all the power of the mind. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So it's not going outside of one's individual thoughts. This is how people come up with their own individual interpretations of the writings when it don't align with their inner morality. You see what I'm saying? When it don't align with who they truly are. You see what I'm saying? With their heart is you know, the vibration that their heart is really beating on. You see what I'm saying? The energy and the frequency that their mind is really on through logic and reasoning. When shit like that starts to clash, you see what I'm saying? They find some type of way to start putting their own interpretation on it. You see what I'm saying? Or they find out some type of way to cherry pick through some of the writings, and some is valid, some is not. You see what I'm saying? This one is most important to me, but this one is, kind of, I ain't really there. You see what I'm saying? This what I'm explaining to you. All of the, the phases of the mind through the, what is it? The growth. You see what I'm saying? The growth of the mind. You're like your mind. Your mind is trying to grow mentally. You see what I'm saying? Trying to grow. Try. It's always room for growth. You see what I'm saying? We aging. Your body is aging. Your mind is aging too. You see what I'm saying? Your mind is trying to grow too, but you stunt the growth. You see what I'm saying? And you confuse the mind and shit like that by dibbling and dabbling throughout all the delusions, by picking and choosing. You see what I'm saying? Which side of the matrix is comfortable for you and shit. You see what I'm saying? Which deception and shit. You see what I'm saying? Aligns with your emotions and shit like that. Which ones you got your heartstrings attached to. You see what I'm saying? It's mainly the one that you were traditionally brought up in. You see what I'm saying? And most don't branch far away from that. Even when they, separate themselves from the group gatherings, or they separate themselves from a certain pastor or a certain teacher, a certain imam or something like that, the principles, you see what I'm saying, of the original teaching still applies in the subconscious of the mind. You see what I'm saying? And one battles with that for the rest of their lives, and go through different phases and different, what I'm saying, led this way, listening to this one, listening to that one. You see what I'm saying? And you following this message. And then once that get weak, you follow the next one. You see what I'm saying? You all over the motherfucking place. And you do this for the rest of your life until you up in your old age. This is what I'm trying to say, trying to explain to the family and shit. You see what I'm saying? It's a waste of time, mind, and energy. It's a waste of time, mind, and energy and shit. You see what I'm saying? It really is some shit, man. And it's a choice for one to continue to do that. One's, it's like a battle of that you got to wear for society, that you got to wear for the family. You see what I'm saying? So you're like, you go on and impress certain people, you got to fit in, you know what I'm saying? You can't even voice your, how you truly feel. You can't even come up from up under that goddamn costume and shit, because you haven't just quite accepted the truth and stand on the shit. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's going to rub somebody the wrong way or not, whether it's going to separate you from the real ones or not. You know what I'm saying? It's going to separate. Do you get what I'm saying? And shit, man, I ain't trying to get all deep, because I'm trying to be as simple as I can. And I'm just trying to get right to the point. Right to the point. Most of what you hear when it comes to this religion or this spiritual stuff, you hear people start talking this shit, right? It's some traditional shit that they done picked up and they ain't been able to shake it ever since, man. They ain't been able to shake it, man. You see what I'm saying? It's so much of this of the betterment of somebody's, you know what I'm saying, the betterment of yourself that one can be working on, that you can be putting all that time, mind, and energy into, or creating other things in your life and shit, man, that could be innovative, or that can, that can spark future wealth, anything and shit, man. You never know. And what you are slacking on because you so compacted or caught up into the matrix. You so caught up into this illusion of living in this reality that your mind done projected that's not real. That's not real. You see what I'm saying? It's only real in your mind. Everybody else that exists outside of your mind and shit, you know what I'm saying, got the same exact choice. They can choose to paint their reality too. You see what I'm saying? What I'm identifying to you is that yours is not unique. Yours is not divine. Yours is not extraordinary and shit. You see what I'm saying? It's the same old shit that came right along with all the other systematical deception. You see what I'm saying? It's the same old shit. Like I said, this ain't no profound knowledge that one thing he done came across. You see what I'm saying? This ain't nothing profound. It's the same old shit that your damn ancestors, since the early colonial period's time, have been introduced to and been teaching it and handing this shit down and regurgitating this shit ever since. And confusing one coming right out the womb ever since. Confusing the child coming right out the womb. Teach them traditional shit, not truths, traditional shit. You see what I'm saying? Shit, and not only that, shit that ain't come from your ancestors. You can't nobody prove without a shadow of a doubt that a black man or a Negro or any of their ancestors wrote any of this shit. Can't nobody prove that shit. That's all the so-called doctrine and teaching too that exists in this matrix. In this society that's full of fucking illusions and delusions that we live in. Ran by propaganda machines and a bunch of self-proclaimed teachers, self-proclaimed professors, self-proclaimed scientists, self-proclaimed historians, peer-reviewed sources and shit like that. All of this shit is a part of the matrix and shit. I don't get why the fuck people keep picking and choosing and shit, which one that they want to fucking uphold. As if today on some different shit, as if today on some shit that's gonna, move people to a whole nother different, closer to a revolution or closer to some freedom of the mind. You see what I'm saying? Niggas all over the motherfucking place and shit when you still in the same box of illusions and shit. You just in another corner and shit. Nigga over there in the top right corner and shit yelling down at the niggas in the bottom left and shit. Somehow he done found some profound shit. Nigga, you still on the inside of the box right along with everybody else. It's like, man, this shit crazy as a motherfucker, man. I hope y'all feel what I'm saying to you, man. Real talk. I hope, man, you send this to the youth. You ain't gonna be able to teach a lot of these old heads. A lot of these old dogs just ain't gonna be able to learn no new tricks, man. For real. That's how deep this shit is and shit, man. No bullshit. I see the fight now and the shit is trying. It's trying to keep the youth from getting destroyed in its inception at an early age. Have someone and shit had them up to somebody's church, laying hands on them, baptizing them and shit, going through some damn verses in Genesis and shit, talking about some goddamn Garden of Eden and all of this shit. Emmanuel and the virgin birth and all of this crazy shit. Somebody being anointed and this pastor got the word of God, or this book here is the word of God, and all of this crazy shit. Let's better get real and see past this shit, man. It's the only way you're going to better yourself and shit, man. It is to free your mind from the illusions. That's the only way. Other than that, it's confusion from here on out. For real, like that's what we up and shit. Confusing Creek from here on out. The niggas in different rafts and shit, little boats and canoes and shit, flowing by and shit, thinking that they getting further and shit. That motherfucker, the tag will bring your ass right back to reality, champ. Gonna humble your ass and bring you right back to reality, let you know that you ain't getting no motherfucker further than the next motherfucker with them lies and deception that you push right along with everybody else. Like real shit. I tell you like this, people been colonialized and act like they done forgot. I don't act like the colonial periods like it never existed and shit. Like people better get real. It's really going on. There's a lot of lies out here, man. Yeah, everything ain't the damn truth, especially a lot of that shit on the news. A lot of that shit on the news be some lies, man. This shit is propaganda. It's out there for a reason, basically. It's out there for a reason. It's out there to help you think a certain way and shit. You know what I'm saying? To keep you seeing this shit a certain way. When you ain't gotta be paying attention to that shit, you be paying attention to yourself. You be shedding them few pounds and shit. You see what I'm saying? You could be learning, you know what I'm saying, how to cleanse your body out, learning how to detox your organs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to cleanse your blood, learning the knowledge of agriculture, learning botanist understanding and shit. You see what I'm saying? How to get real good with the plants and the herbs and shit like that. Learning how to create pure water, natural distillers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit that could be beneficial for you and your body, and you know, the health and wealth of your bodies and your children's bodies. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that is the shit, you know, the true knowledge. You see what I'm saying? How to sustain yourself from the earth. That's the true knowledge and shit. You know what I'm saying? And say like the goddamn the system and the damn the colonists, colonialists, these motherfuckers got, you know, the end results of that shit is niggas got their priorities backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like the so-called traditional teaching of spirituality, or your religious teaching, or you know your infatuation with a history book and all that type shit is more important than you sustaining you, your own, and your children's life. See what I'm saying? Why I'm telling you, like, all this shit is a fucking part of the delusions and shit, and keep you off your pivot from what's really important. You see what I'm saying? And keep you distracted and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now you see why we have been so many generations, and you wonder why the people haven't came together and unified and did anything yet and shit. Why they haven't came together and created infrastructures, or, you know, plotting or planning on ways and shit to free themselves. You know, because they constantly distracted and believing in all types of other shit that ain't real. You see what I'm saying? Waiting on false gods and shit to change this shit for them. Waiting on false saviors to appear out of nowhere and shit. You know what I'm saying? And be the Clark Kent to Metropolis. You feel me? Caught up into all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? His so-called people of the past that they can't even really verify if they even fucking existed or not. You see what I'm saying? All these so-called goddamn celebrity figures, you know, that's highly in somebody's mind, got them geeked the fuck out and shit, trying to follow somebody's path, or get or you know, attach themselves to somebody's enriched motherfucking book some damn where, some story some damn where and shit, that they don't even care about what they feeding themselves right now. They don't even care about the poison and the lead and the contamination of the water that they got to use every day to sustain their lives. I don't even care about trying to motherfucking rid the system and shit of living tax, you know what I'm saying, being taxed, paying for utilities and shit off the earth's resources and shit that we should be generating ourselves. And, you know, see, like I say, we focused on the wrong shit as people, focused on the wrong shit. And that's exactly where they want you to be. They want you to be up in somebody's church. They want you to be on your knees and shit, praying and all these types of shit. Talking to your goddamn imaginary friends and shit like that. And your my buddies and all this shit, man. They want you, that's where they want you to be. Coming up with no solutions to your problems. All your solutions is in somebody's book. All your solutions and shit is in a verse and chapter in somebody else's book, somebody else's writings and shit from ages and ancients ago. Shit ain't got nothing to do with what's happening in your now, right now. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But you know why you convinced that it do? Because you caught up in the illusion. You believing in that shit. All that shit has became real to you through the projection of your own mind, and you chose it. You know what I'm saying? It's a self-choice. Continue to choose this shit. Huh? You know, motherfucker choose to keep making this shit important to them. You know what I'm saying? Like identity ain't even that motherfucking important and shit. What's important and shit is what you demand. It ain't all about your identity. It's what you demand. And what you ain't gonna take no for an answer for. Ain't all about your damn identity. I give a fuck who you identify as. Not in today's time. Them days is long gone. As I say, you know, people caught up in the past. They still living in the motherfucking trying. You know, they motherfucking think it's the era of the Mayans or some shit. Others still think that, you know, like Dr. Olmec still running around here or something and shit. You know, we like I don't know what the hell motherfucker thing going on and shit, man. I know we're wrapped up in an identity crisis, all this shit. I'm telling y'all, man, all this shit is part of the fucking matrix, man. All of it. It has nothing to do with you individually. It has nothing to do with your mind. It has nothing to do with you living your best life. It's what you've been persuaded to believe to be a form of your best life. You see what I'm saying? Your best life and shit for us is how your ancestors had it pre-colonization. That's your best life. Pre-colonization and shit. You see what I'm saying? Able to live in freedom. Able to live and sustain your lives and your children's lives and your family's life independently. You see what I'm saying? Able to take the land and the earth's resources and make it do what it do, babe. You see what I'm saying? Independently. That's the freedom. All that other shit is some illusion shit, man. All that you trying to go back to claim some shit that existed 500,000 years ago, that shit is gone, man. It ain't coming back. It's, you know, you in the same predicament as trying to re-erupt some old Jerusalem kingdom or some shit like that. You trying to re-erupt the Moorish Empire, or you trying to re-erupt, you see what I'm saying, the Olmec civilization or the Mayans. You know what I'm saying? You trying to re-erupt some shit. You trying to relive some shit in your generation and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying all this shit is motherfucking people getting caught up in the matrix and shit, man. Real talk. I know this message ain't for everybody and shit, man, but for those who do resonate, it's only a few of us out here that can see through this shit, man. For real. It's only a few of us that can see through it and shit, man. Many of us are still caught up and battling each other, even their own selves mentally, daily and shit, man. Mentally and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it always got to be a debate about some shit. Always got to, you know, give a reaction to something that, you see what I'm saying, that disproves or in their emotional sense disrespects their belief system. You see what I'm saying? Disrespects their so-called heritage, disrespects their so-called culture, all of this shit. Man, what about your culture right now? And what are you doing to bring solutions to the problem that exists in your generation? What's going on in your culture right now? You have none. Motherfuckers is silent. And when you do ask motherfuckers, what can we do to start fixing this shit? They want to take you back to some goddamn Bible verse, man. They want to take you back to some verse in a damn Surah or Hadith some damn way and shit. They want to say we need to do what the ancient Egyptians was doing. We need to resurrect the ancient Nubians and some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? The Nubians and all of this crazy shit, man. Like real talk. Always got to go back to some old shit, man, that's been given to them by the colonizers. Do you hear what I'm saying to you, man? Man. I'm trying to speak with clarity, man. I'm trying to get it out with clarity. Hit the like button, man. Shout out to Ray. Shout out to the Cuzzo and shit. And I see you tapped in and shit. I was just I was in a vibe. I was in a vibe, cuz wasn't trying to lose that thought. I see you done tapped in, man. Peace and salute to you, man. Peace and grand one to you and the fam. But you real talk, like you know, everything won in today's time when they want to talk about bringing some solutions to some shit. They want to take you back to some information that was brought about or released. Let me say it like that. That was released or rationed out to you by the colonizer. You know what I'm saying? As if they're going to give you anything that's going to be beneficial and shit. They already poisoning your food and your water, even the food for your babies and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about your babies. All types of contaminants and poisons all in the baby formulas and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? Which I would suggest, like all my children, you know, to be breastfed. But you know, even for the the women that can't produce the milk, and you know what I'm saying, in situations and shit, you know, and gotta rely on the baby formulas and shit. You got baby microplastics and aluminums and all types of goddamn what is it? Unnatural, man-made motherfucking shit all up in the baby formulas and shit. And man, you got prenatal pills and shit, man. You know, the women don't even know what the hell is in them. You see what I'm saying? I was like, we got so much motherfucking problems going on and shit that exists in our now, right now. It motherfuckers is like totally oblivious to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit ain't important and shit. Danny, 80% of your goddamn fruits and vegetables nowadays is straight GMO. This shit is unimportant to you and shit. When your fruits and vegetables, it is the earth's. You see what I'm saying? Nature's natural antioxidant for the body. You see what I'm saying? Shit is GMO. You see what I'm saying? They got water in the motherfucking bottles and shit. They claim the shit is spring water and shit. And the shit is straight tap water ran through a filter. Shit is straight tap water ran through a filter and shit. Still containing certain motherfucking contaminants in it. You see what I'm saying? Life expectancy is horrible and shit. Motherfuckers dying in their 50s and 60s and shit. Ain't none of this shit important to anybody and shit. What's important to somebody and shit is resurrecting and shit, some damn mind kingdom and shit, man. Trying to bring back the Zulus and shit, man. Man, dude. Oh, they're talking about praying to the east, praying to the west. Man, dude. Man. I sometimes I be at a loss of words and shit, man, on where to even begin to try to start correcting some of this shit, man. Like I told you, motherfuckers probably, you know, get upset with me or you know, frown their face, look at me kind of saucy when I say sometimes I really start thinking this shit. You know, I do have thoughts that it may not be no coming back from this type of shit. It may not be. You know what I'm saying? Like this you know, motherfuckers we might just be in a Confucius motherfucker society and shit, man, for all the rest of the generation on earth because of how this shit going. Shit, man, all this illusions and delusions and motherfuckers, you know, you know, the truth in today's society is what one believed to be. You know what I'm saying? It's what one has taught to be, or you know, what one is convinced through a teaching to be, or through a manipulation, or through, you know, not a good understanding, you know, but it's never quite the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's never quite the truth. You see, that's what I had to tell myself. That's what helped me kind of start seeing through a bunch of the bullshit, man. Start seeing through it. I had to accept and swallow that pill. And you know, ain't none of this shit out here absolute. Give a fuck what nobody say. Give a fuck what type of sources they talk about. This shit, man. All that it could be some type of fault, or it's a gray area, or they in some room for questioning all that shit. They in some room for questioning all that shit. Bullshit. Ain't none of that shit the absolute truth. And once I started to tell myself that, as I was explaining to you, the way the power of the mind works, you start to see things. Your mind starts changing. My whole perspective changed. So no longer will I be persuaded or led by anybody's motherfucking teaching ever again. There's only one real teaching, and that's your experience. It's the only way I can see it now and shit. What's going on in my generation? That's what's most important. Yeah, I would like to learn about the past. I would like to read up on it and stuff like that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but that's the shit. I'm not trying to go back there, and I'm not transforming my life there neither. Shit, I'm going forward and shit. I'm trying to plan for the future generations. I need to be planning for my damn grandbabies that don't exist yet, that will be here. You know what I'm saying? In years to come. I'm trying to, be focusing on that, trying to set up some land and set up, you know what I'm saying, some properties, get some little LLC, some business or something going and shit for the family. And get some shit going. Start some shit for my young ones and shit. Leave some shit going and shit so I can leave a mark or some type of milestone that I've reached for my motherfucker, in my now, in my era. Some shit that, you know what I'm saying, that the generations, five, 6 generations from now could talk about, yeah, and I remember that time, sure, we read about it that time when you know what I'm saying, when Donnie and them family started this. You know what I'm saying? They had this and shit ever since such and such. Shit like that. That's the type of shit we all supposed to be on. You ain't supposed to be trying to motherfucking resurrect some shit from the past. The shit is over with in past tense. That's the reason it's called the past. Like, what the hell is wrong with us and shit? As a people and shit. Like, the hell, man, like, I don't know. Something going on with the psyche. And all I can think is the indoctrination. You see what I'm saying? The traditional indoctrination. The deception that is being installed coming out the womb. It's a constant regurgitation and recycling of the same old untruths. The same old beliefs. This is what my parents was doing, and sometimes it seemed like some of the most, great shit to be doing, to be carrying on or continuing the family's legacy, continuing the family's traditions and shit. But if those traditions are based on untruths and our, and our indoctrinations that came from the same people who once and still do some had a disdain for your ancestors, then that's a goddamn problem. That is a problem. You feel me? So it's all about the mind and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to start thinking for yourself. Start reasoning, proving some of this shit, reason with yourself with logic, man, question a lot of things and shit, man. Don't never tell yourself that that somebody or, you know what I'm saying, you done found the actual truth or the absolute truth. And when it comes to this world, when it comes to the origin, when it comes to people, I used to find it strange and shit that, people can read books on a certain culture in China or a certain culture in Taiwan, and now all of a sudden and shit, they know what the whole Asia about. you feel me? You know what I'm saying? As if you can read about the whole world or you can know about the entirety of this world through a book. Like you could know about the entirety of a landmass through a book. You could know about the entirety of a state or a city through a book. It's impossible. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? There's just that pill one got to swallow and shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't fucking absolute and shit, especially when it comes to the origins of this world and shit, the origins of mankind or humanity, whatever the fuck you want to call it. All these different fashions or different types or kinds of religions and spiritualities, all these different historical teachings, all these different curriculums, and man, all of this shit, man, need to be questioned and shit, man. Ain't none of this shit, guaranteed fucking 100% absolute truth without a shadow of a doubt type shit. Real talk. And shout out to my network, Cuzzo Looney and shit, man. Peace to the Cuzzo. Salute. You feel me? Oh yeah, it's mainly tradition, as I was saying and shit, man. Is it real spirituality or is it tradition and shit? It can be a spirituality in someone's mind. It can be, because most people that is under religion, they'll tell you, I'm not in a religion. You know what I'm saying? I'm spiritual. This is what they'll say. You know what I'm saying? I'm spiritual. You know what I'm saying? So, there is no blueprint. You see what I'm saying? There ain't no template for exactly what spirituality is. You see what I'm saying? There is no template or no, you know what I'm saying? No actual blueprint or manual that is like the number one or the ultimate manual to this life. You see what I'm saying? This world. They ain't, that shit don't exist. You see what I'm saying? Way that they just started to teach this shit and indoctrinate motherfuckers and shit with these versions of history and shit like that, made motherfuckers make this shit important to people and shit, man. Like real talk. I think all this shit is is the byproduct of a colonized society. You feel me? Real talk. It's a byproduct, or this is the results of post-colonization. You got people, certain groups of people who's in charge, who's delegating the law of the land, which includes the curriculum and and like they say, the freedom of press, the freedom of speech, and all that type of shit. You got one people delegating the law and dictating how things is going to go down, and they also decide to see what's going to be taught, what's going to be given, and what's going to be allowed to be pushed. You see what I'm saying? So that's another red flag that just exists, that should exist, or antenna going up in any conscious mind and shit. You see what I'm saying? That when it's just out there so freely and it's just so available and shit. You see what I'm saying? You don't think that the powers that be recognize this as well? You don't think that the powers that be could got the power to what they call it, blackball, and you see what I'm saying, shadow ban. You know what I'm saying? They don't want certain shit out. It ain't gonna be out. They call it They call that classified. You know what I'm saying? Classified information. You know what I'm saying? Ain't for the public people to know. Ain't for them. It's beyond your status quo. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, basically, in other words, saying it's too beneficial for you. It's too informational for you. You know what I'm saying? And it could be it could raise some type of uh backlash or revolt to our systematical ways. So that's another red flag that should be going up in the mind of anybody that's aware. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no one motherfucker teaching or group, no organization, no sect, no religion, no church, no temple, no mosque. Ain't none of this shit is a threat to the powers that be. Ain't none of this shit is a threat to the systematic way of life. So it's showing you that ain't none of that shit producing no damn truth. Ain't none of that shit producing no damn growth to ones that's, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna bring about uh equality. That's gonna bring about some real justice. That's gonna bring about some real solutions to the problems that's going on. That shit is out there for propaganda, and it's out there for confusion. I hope you feel what I'm saying, and y'all, man. I really do, because I really do care for the people and shit, man. I really do. I gotta care for the people, man. You know what I'm saying? But as the saying goes and shit, man, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink, man. You know what I'm saying? Can't make them drink and shit, man. All I can do is get the message out there. I'm trying to put, what I'm saying? I'm trying to put the message out. I'm trying to start. I'm trying to start it. I'm trying to do my part to spark the joint, to spark the initial thought. Man, ain't none of this shit the truth. Oh man, what the fuck they kind of come to you teaching this shit, man? They open up any of these motherfucking religious books. They open up any of these damn historical books. They open up any of these motherfucking scientific magazines and these peer-reviewed reports and shit. They under the illusion themselves and shit, man. And about to introduce some more confusion to you. About to get you to dive a little deeper into this motherfucking, this creek of confusion. You see what I'm saying? In the byproduct of post-colonization. You know what I'm saying? All of the what they call the common folk is supposed to be uneducated. It's supposed to be indoctrinated under some false ass belief or some false ass reality and shit. In order for you not to see what the fuck they got going on, in order for you not to be focused on what's really important in your life, which is the sustainment of your lives. I don't know how many times I got to press that into the conscience of my people. There ain't nothing important. The most important thing to your life is to live it. It's to sustain it, man. And being that you're so dependent on the system to sustain your lives, that's what they got you. And I'm trying to show you through it all. Piece by piece. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I do. I trust. I do. I know it is very hard to see because that pill is one of the most difficult pills to swallow. That all this shit is some bullshit, man. For real. It's all a big sack of bullshit and it reeks heavy. It's just some bullshit. Bullshit in the summer and shit under the heat, man. That shit reeking heavy as hell, man. It's some bullshit under the heat. Real talk. Bullshit and humidity. Reeking heavy. And the people is regurgitating this shit over and over and over again, recycling the shit to the point where they're coming up, newer generations of people is creating new interpretations of the same old lies, man. They're creating new interpretations of the same lie. Oh man, I don't know. That's what I say. I don't even know where we even begin to start eradicating some of this shit. Like how you know, I'm gonna ask a genuine question, man, a genuine one, real talk. How do you even begin to eradicate that thought that somebody outside of yourself got full control over your life? Somebody or some being outside of yourself got full control over your life. How do you stop that types of shit when it's being taught the way it is and shit coming out the womb? See, once the deception is taught coming out the womb, the child grow up off pivot for the rest of their lives. For the rest of their lives. And then teach their children to do the same shit. Uh, so how do you even stop this types of shit? Like, some of this shit, I don't know how it can be undone. That's why I question. I really don't. I question it. Is there really a fiction to this shit? Or is it, or you know, because my conscience do tell me sometimes that it ain't no fucking fixing this shit, man. And it's all on you to motherfucking just, teach your kids all that you know. And hopefully they start to teach theirs. Like, that's the only thing I have nothing else. I have nothing else. Because if you can't get the people to understand that what they eating is bad, or they don't care about that and that ain't important and shit, where do you even start? Like, where do you even start shit, man? Like, you say it should have been a damn uproar once we got whiff of what the fuck a GMO product is when it comes to our food. Like, what the fuck is this? GMO. You mean to tell me this ain't real chicken? You mean to tell me this ain't a real grape? You mean to tell me this ain't a real watermelon? This ain't a real orange? You say this ain't real fucking greens and shit? You mean to tell me the lettuce that I eat or that I'm ordering on my sandwich and shit, I'm getting no nutrients from that. I'm getting no benefits from that and shit. It's just there. You mean to tell me the bread that I eat every day and shit, or that I'm feeding my children and shit, got sugar in it? It's got bleach in it and shit. You see what I'm saying? The motherfucking meat that I'm buying off the shelves and shit, it's got coloring and dyes and shit in it and shit, fucking red 40s and all of this shit. You see what I'm saying? You telling me this shit spring water and shit, and it's not. You got some shit on here talking about some damn alkaline water and shit, and you putting fucking baking soda in it. I'm like, all this shit is out here, man. The information's out here and shit. But you think people is this shit is important to people? You tell somebody they're not supposed to be eating 3 times a day, they look at you like you a damn fool. They look at you like you a damn fool. You tell someone they need to read the ingredients and shit on everything that they buy off the shelf and shit, they looking at you and shit like you a damn nerd or something. Shit like you a square. Something wrong with you. How do you fix this shit? Like, what? I'm telling you and shit, man. Like, I'm not the one to be giving off no bad energy and nothing like that. I'm just the one to make you aware. I'm just the one to just give it to you in 100% of truth and shit, man. You know, just tell you for what it is and shit, man. Anybody telling you that they got the truth or they got the teaching or they got the right understanding or the right interpretation, oh man, get far away from them as far as you can. Shit. For real talk, and keep them far away from your damn kids. If you let your children spend no time not let them contaminate the minds of your children. Real talk. Do not let them contaminate the minds of your children and shit, man. Bring them up and shit, man, and fuck them up before their lives even start. 'Cause that's what's really going on and shit. You know what I'm saying? You fucking the children up mentally before their lives even get started. Before they can actually learn to think on their own and shit. Before they, before their brain is developed to, you see what I'm saying, to question things with a certain consciousness. You done already, molded their conscience in a certain way. You done already, you see what I'm saying, gave them or teaching them, to see things a certain way from your traditional teaching and shit, man, which is a goddamn slave teaching and shit from the colonizers. There's people showing you in society today, in your now. I always speak on what's going on and what's happening in your now, in your existence right now, in our generation right now. It is still shown that the system, the government, cannot be trusted. It is still shown. The government always shows you as well that any information or any type of groups or organizations that they feel is a threat to the public or a threat to their laws or their constitution, they get with them. You see what I'm saying? They release the hounds on them peoples and shit. They infiltrate them and shit. Send all types of spies. They get the motherfucking. You see what I'm saying? The alphabet boards involved. They get, you know what I'm saying? The 3-letter groups and all that shit. You see what I'm saying? They get involved. You see what I'm saying? They get involved. And they put a halt to some shit. You see what I'm saying? They didn't even get to the point. They taking lives and shit if they got to and shit. You know what I'm saying? They protect they motherfucking shit. So what makes you think any of these motherfucking religious or group teachings or organizations and shit, motherfuckers out on the corner, so-called kicking some damn knowledge and all this shit, like they bringing some type of motherfucking truth to the people and shit. Ain't no goddamn threat to the motherfucking people and shit. They know that they out there indoctrinating your ass with the same information that was given to them, that was planted to come out here and put you in the mind of confusion and put your mind in the trick bag as well. Have you not focusing on your now? Have you way back down in the damn rabbit hole somewhere and shit, trying to make clarity of what went on and shit 3,000 years ago and shit. You still trying to make sense of the goddamn pyramid text and the Kodak this and Kodak's that and all that types of shit. In the meantime, and shit, eating motherfucker poisonous goddamn foods and shit that you buying off the stores and shit. Contaminated ass water and shit. All types of cancerous motherfucking chemicals, fucked up motherfucking unhealthy goddamn chemicals and and all the products and shit. Ain't none of that shit important. It's fucking crazy. So you like some of us gotta wake up from this shit, man, and start teaching this shit to the youth. Start informing them on what's really going on out this junk. Don't get caught up in the trick bag. Belief is a choice. I'd rather teach the youth to be on the I don't know and still to be determined type shit than to instill in them some shit that I believe in and some shit that I can't really verify as the truth or really know that is the truth myself. No, we're going to find out together. It may take some time. We may not ever find out the shit. It may not be important for us to find out the shit, but we're not going to just settle on a lie. We're not going to just settle on some what if shit or some maybe or it's a possibility. No, we ain't settling on that. If we can't prove it, it's the truth without a shadow of a doubt and substantiating this shit, then we're going to leave it be. It's still to be determined. You know what I'm saying? That's what it got to be. It's about as real as one can be with themselves and shit, man. That's as real as you can be with your youth. You know what I'm saying? Youth get, they get curious. They go out to the world. They got friends. They go to school, all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? Recreation centers, hear all kinds of shit. Come right back home and ask mama. Come right back home and ask dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start being authentic. Be genuine. Be real with them instead of selling for a damn lie and teaching them a lie. Be real with them. If you don't know, you don't know. That hasn't been figured out yet. That's still to be determined. Any damn thing. You just be settling on a damn lie or a belief and shit, some shit that's traditionally taught. Shit is part of the problem. No, it's hard to see, but it is. That's why I said earlier and shit, man. You get to talking with people and they want to, first thing come to them when we start talking about solutions or what can we do as a people moving forward. And their initial thought or their first, answer is to go to a, book, chapter, and verse. You see what I'm saying? Or we going to the Surah, or we going to the Hadith. You see what I'm saying? Or we going to this history book and we talking about this and that. Man, it's most likely and shit that they add confusion to the goddamn problem and shit, man. Real talk. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, shout out to who that Yay. Hey, Ken Yay, what's up? What's up with you, champ? Peace to the motherfucking God, King Yay. Cuzzo Looney in the building. That So Reed John Message said Jesus is the king and he's alive. I'm pretty sure he is in your mind, bro. Pretty sure he is. So is the system from the colonizer or is it much bigger than them? I believe it's much bigger than them now because we're regurgitating lies. You know what I'm saying? Like the people is living in lies. And that makes it hard for one to just be them authentic selves. Makes it hard. Your whole life is based on the lie and shit. You believe, you got imaginary friends. You know what I'm saying? Beings and shit that exist. You got people believing aliens, all kinds of shit, man. So, like they mind ain't, they not operating within a logical mind frame of mind. You see what I'm saying? They operating in what they call that faithful mind. That's what I'm saying. That that's the mind that's all over the place. You see what I'm saying? That's the mind that's never stable. That's the mind that's all over the place and shit. That's the mind that's drifting here and shit, drifting there. You know what I'm saying? Might hear something and get carried all the way over there in that direction and shit. You see what I'm saying? Because you already conform to believe in one thing that's not, or that hasn't been made real to you. So now you're vulnerable to accept all types of other shit that pop, you know what I'm saying, that has that possibility to it. You know what I'm saying? That might be shit because of all of the propaganda and the bullshit that you hear every damn day. And that people keep regurgitating and recycling every damn day. How many people you hear keep talking about they believe in a God and ain't never proved it to themselves? You see what I'm saying? Prove it to themselves or nobody else. You know what I'm saying? The very concept of a belief in God is self-explanatory. It's a belief in God. Nothing else. Nothing more, nothing less. You see what I'm saying? That's the very concept of it. To believe in God. Because if God was actually, or the Lord or the Creator, whatever one want to call it, if it was actually proven to all of humanity or all humanity, like just, what is it, divinely, consciously made aware of it, then the belief in God wouldn't exist. There wouldn't be no room for no damn belief. It'd just ultimately be the denial. The denial. That's all it'll be. It wouldn't be no, you wouldn't have no damn belief in God. You know what I'm saying? So, like I'm saying, that thing there is traditional. It's what I was speaking out from the very beginning of this stream. It's traditional. And once it's traditionally taught coming out the womb, the mind is, for the most part, forever gone. You know, that's just most blatant way I can say it and shit. You see what I'm saying? And it takes one self choice to get one's mind back, to start thinking for themselves again, to start to critically question things again, and come to a realization that you have been lied to, that you have been deceived and shit, and things that you possibly, thought was the truth wasn't the truth. That's when one start getting their mind back, start thinking for themselves. But for the most part, a lot of the majority of the people, their minds is gone. And it's an installation that's coming right out the womb through tradition. Through tradition. The same way as like holidays and shit. It's the same shit, same principles. None of these holidays is real or got anything to do with your people, but they traditionally uphold them and they are emotionally attached to them. Like it's a certain vibration or a certain energy that they have created to regurgitate the shit yearly and annually and shit like that, to where it done grew expectations and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the mind is that powerful and shit, man, to make things appear to be real, or give certain shit value, you know what I'm saying? Or, give it importance and stuff like that. That's just what it is. But it all goes back to one's mind and shit, man. All boils down to and shit. Like that, where man thinkers, wherever man think, that's where man gonna be living and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the space or the perception of reality to that man or woman. And that's the way that they're gonna live their lives. You know what I'm saying? All of their reactions, all of their interactions with people and stuff like that, it's all gonna go back to what they were initially taught to perceive the world and the people in it. You feel me? But yeah, I think I got my little message across. Tradition or spiritual. And I'm leaning towards tradition. That's just me. Pretty sure. So a lot of people gonna disagree. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people gonna disagree and shit. I got my reasons for why I feel they're gonna disagree, but I'm pretty sure many will. But tradition or real spirituality, is it really your spiritual? Is it really something spiritual that you discovered after you were taught? Is it something spiritual that you discovered before you were taught it? Is your mind making it all real to you? No, that's just basically what it is. It's the power of the mind. Spirituality ain't what it's cracked up to be, because there's so many, spirituality is the same as religion. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, in its principles. It's the same thing. It's some shit that, there is no one true template or blueprint of it where this is the original one or this is the one and everything else came from this or everything else was plagiarized from this. Like, there is no original fucking template or original writings or original teachings of spirituality. You see what I'm saying? One in today's time will even tell you that their religion is a spirituality. Then you have somebody else who don't have a religion, will tell you that they're spiritual as well. You know what I'm saying? So many different, interpretations, according to one's teaching or one's perception of what spirituality is, and that is the same exact principles that you get with religion. It's the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? One's interpretation according to one's perception of what they've been taught. Yeah? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, with that and shit, man, I'm gonna go ahead and end this joint, man. Get on up out of here. Peace to everybody that tapped in. Peace to everybody that's going to tap in. You know what I'm saying, on the replay game. Share this junk with your children, man. Share this junk with the youth, man, the young teens, man, the youngins. Start encouraging them to keep an open mind and don't accept anything as an absolute truth. You see what I'm saying? And for the young parents, the young mothers and the young fathers, you know, do your due diligence as well. You see what I'm saying? Like your own teaching tell you to study to show yourself approved. Study to show your own self approved. You see what I'm saying? Do a little more studying on your job. Do a little more proof studying on it. You see what I'm saying? Do a little more little deeper diving on the origins of what you've been taught, the origins of what you believe in, where it came from, how it was used. You see what I'm saying? Get into all of that. So you'll have these answers for the next generation, for you'll have these answers for the youth. You see what I'm saying? Teach them some real shit and stop recycling and regurgitating the traditional shenanigans. And with that, we out this joke, man. Peace to everybody that tapped in, man. Everybody take care of themselves, stay conscious, stay aware, and let's all grow mentally. Salute.